So many magical moments over the weekend. Everyone was mesmerised by the pass that stopped the nation, Buzz. But was it forward or not?
I've got absolutely no doubt it was forward, but it was great play by Latrell. It was adventurous. It was a game changer. There, it's forward.
It's not
It's
forward.
it's a forward pass, Brent.
It's not a forward. Well,
if you
not,
pass the
'cause
ball,
it's a try.
Brent, if you pass the ball to the middle line, that's where his feet were, and he stopped.
Buzz.
And he catches it 4 metres downfield. Task, it's forward.
Can we get Nick Pappas' text up to show Buzz?
Oh, well,
Explain
Yeah,
simple,
okay.
physics to Buzz.
So this is Buzz.
Well,
Like,
there it
so you tweeted this after the game. Now that's where Latrell throws the pass, which is on the line, and this is where Tass catches the ball, which is, I'd say about 2.5, 3 metres.
3.
You said 5. I don't know about that. But okay, so this is Nick Pappas, the chairman of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and his response, let me step in here. Phil, Physics 101, if a player has forward velocity, that velocity is transferred to the ball, i.e. the ball will move forward relative to the ground, or throw a ball backwards from a moving car, the ball will move forward relative to the road, Phil.
That's not passive-aggressive, bro.
Simples.
Can I just say this? Nick Pappas is a great lawyer. But my goodness, it was a forward pass.
No, Buzz, no. It's out of the hands. It doesn't matter what the ball does after it leaves the hands. A forward pass is dictated whether it goes forward or backwards out of the hands. And that clearly goes backwards out of his hands.
Okay, let's. I want to press you on this really a little bit. Now, Latrell Mitchell, generational talent and this play is, it really is, it's almost iconic. You know, game on the line against his old club, rival club. He comes up with the big play. It's special. But can we just go back? You're saying that without doubt, just stop.
What's she saying
without
here?
doubt, that's going backwards out of his
Look
hands.
at that. That is clearly going backwards out of his hands.
Clearly going backwards out of his
Clearly.
hands.
So you two are
Well, why
nuts.
did
You
they go
can't say
forward?
clearly either of you.
No, you can't.
Buzz,
Oh,
I
I did.
said this to you on radio. I slightly lean towards it's probably forward. Probably. 60-40.
Dan, have a look at that.
How
can
are
you say
you
that?
going to... My point is this, Reedy. I don't want to hear talk of we've got to bring video technology in on passes like this. The angle on a camera from the 50-metre line, you can't make a decision one way or the other on that.
Yeah, and that's why there is not a rule that allows the bunker to adjudicate, because if they'd had a look and stopped front, we'd be blowing up. There was talk years ago they were going to put a chip in a football
be
like
happening.
a GPS.
No,
it won't
the
be
NRL has
happening.
confirmed that.
So I think we're going to have to live with decisions like that, and I can guarantee you we'll see incidents at Brookvale, LaCour, Combank, Penrith, every ground, identical pass, and more than half will be called back.
Can I be honest? We're missing a lot of forward passes.
I was about to say, Dan, this is my argument, is that, we can look at that and probably say it went a little bit forward, but there were 3 or 4 other passes in that game that were forward.
Not as forward as that one.
It doesn't matter how far forward, they were forward. So if you want to go back and look and dissect the game and pick it to pieces, there were quite a few, but this was a big moment, and the touch judge was right there. But a lot of people disagree with you, Buzz.
I think it's 60-40 that it went backwards, Braith.
But you're alone on this panel.
I know. So on this panel, it's not 60-40.
If that's pulled up and South's going to lose, I don't think people are blowing up the way people are blowing up this. Now, I didn't call it in the commentary because I was more fixated on Isaiah Tass, to be honest, and getting his feet on
You called the game, right? So everyone was so mesmerised by the play. We're looking at Isaiah Tass's foot. Has it touched the sideline? What a pass it was from Latrell. Latrell's first game back. He's thrown the match winner against his old club. Were people that mesmerised by the play that maybe they just missed the pass?
I think, honestly, Braith, yes.
But don't you think it's also because it wasn't an obvious forward pass?
You're very passionate about this.
No, what I'm saying, the reason it wasn't picked up in the commentary, like, for example, I think there was one of the Roosters game the other day that went a mile forward, and everyone, not this game, I think it was a game last week, everyone picked it up straight
You're
away.
telling the stories,
You can see from Angus Crichton's reaction it went forward, right? This one, no one thought it was forward until you watched the 40th replay of
The
it.
Roosters were turned around and were sort of saying it was
Were they?
forward. Latrell does a great job of running forward too, so he's in front of the ball, which is what most great players do. You can feel sometimes and you're thinking, this is touch and go, and you're looking at the referee and you're hoping he lets it go.
But let me ask you, because you know about passing, on the Nick Pappas, the science guy's theory.
He lost me at a hello.
Did you think he had that much momentum into the pass because he wasn't running a full throttle, Latrell, and he was running more sideways than forwards. So. Does he have forward momentum?
He did have forward momentum.
Can I just point out that's actually not Nick Pappas's theory. That's actually a physics term. It's inertia, isn't it? Is that what it's called? Inertia. It's not. Nick hasn't invented it.
You keep telling these stories, but you don't have the answers.
It's actual physics.
Guys, what I wrote this morning, whether it was forward or not, it was a beautiful bit of rugby league by Latrell.
Don't pull the handbrake.
No, it was. I'm not. That, with the game on the line, he took a risk there of an intercept. And I love players who will be risky.
Are you on the bus or off the bus,
No,
Phil?
he also told his teammates after the game that he noticed Dom Young was a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And he read that situation perfectly.
He did.
Yeah.
No,
that is why they picked him at 5'8" this weekend.
That's why I called him a generational talent. There's not many players that not only would execute that play or even try that play, but
that's
nail
what I mean. I love risky.
Especially, he had a couple of shocking plays in the game, but yet it never stops his confidence. Yeah. He knew in that moment, there's not many that would have the stones to do what he did there.
He put a couple of kicks into touch on the full, right? And that would shatter the confidence of a lot of players. Right at the death, game on the line, pass of the year, whether it's backwards or forwards.
Yeah, I think it was his night because a couple of those drop kicks too that landed on the try line and bounced to 10. You know, sometimes.
But you get that, don't you? It would have shattered a lot of guys, and they wouldn't have been prepared to take another risk like he did.
No, fair point. All right, now he's moving to 5'8". That's official, or not?
Well, it's not official yet, but it probably will be tomorrow. Yeah, he trained there today, and Lewis Dodd's unavailable. I don't think Lewis Dodd would have been there anyway, but he's unavailable because he got charged in New South Wales Cup with a crusher. So I believe he'll be unavailable, and it looks like Latrell will play 6. And I think it's a great call.
But Lewis Dodd was never playing.
No, Lewis Dodd, he would have been in the squad, but the extended squad. But
Bud Sullivan
played very well last week.
And Wayne gave him a wrap after the game.
Again, he was a bit slow to get into the game, but he come up with that crucial line break, pass back on the inside to Gray, which changed the game. So Sullivan and Latrell, that's a very talented 7 and 6, and when they're on, they will be on. But I don't think of, game management and control. But you got to, I suppose, play to what you got in front of you, and they're both dangerous players.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Is Campbell Graham back?
No.
So they're going to be short of centre.
Johnston's back, and Ewan Aitken's back.
Right, okay.
So I think Ewan Aitken will play in the centres, Johnston on the wing.
Do you like it, bro? I mean, you can play Latrell at 3, you can play him at 1, you can play him obviously at 6. I
like it at 5'8", yeah. I think
better than Whiten?
Ooh.
See, Whiten doesn't want to play there, it seems, because he actually did a very good job for them last year.
Yeah, he did. And anyway, he's done a great job in the past as a 5'8" for Canberra.
Dalian winner.
It's a fair point.
It was interesting talking to Jason Demetrio today about obviously Coach Latrell, and he's always had a view that Latrell can be a world-class 5'8". Good kicking game. We saw his passing game before. Big body in defence. Reduces his workload as opposed to playing fullback. He says, he's always had a high opinion of Latrell as a 6.
Latrell is good anywhere, if not great, and I think he'll do a really good job there. I'm happy with him at 5'8". I think it's a good decision, and see how Bud goes alongside of him.